But the points that you make about efficiency and about equity are points that I think are valid. They're very valid points. However, what is not addressed is how to do it, because you can do it in a way that introduces other factors that are problematic. For instance, if you were to adjust the threshold in a non-revenue neutral way, then you have to think about equity from another point of view, because the fact remains that the proportion of persons in the tax database who are under, let's use 1.5 for the time being, who were under the 1.5 income tax threshold as a total proportion of the persons in the income tax threshold, you're talking about a number, and I said it in my budget presentation, of 75 to 80%.
Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke said there is a danger in raising the income tax threshold too high. Wanna hear what going, people? So because Nigel Clarke asks Mark Golin how we might go raise the funds if he raise the threshold to 3 million. And Mark Golin now give no information. Dr. Nigel Clarke I go say that there can be problem if it raises too high. But basically what him try to tell you saying people, him raised it the other day and there is a problem in his own budget at the moment. But we have data come up in this update. Also people, Delroy Chuck a turn against Andrew Holness. Delroy Chuck want to see Andrew Holness lose his position, and therefore what Delroy Chuck is doing is making public mischief and calling out some stuff that him know say Andrew Holness is a part of, including the Illicit 6. All of a sudden, Delroy Chuck not stop call for the Illicit 6 because according to Delroy Chuck, when him go out on the road, people are asking him say if he is a part of the Illicit 6. Now, put 2 and 2 together. Delroy Chuck, I go with Christopher Tough Time. Him the pan Christopher Tough Time team. Everybody knows that Christopher Tough Time I go up against Andrew Holness for the leadership of the Jamaican Labour Party. So Delroy Chuck definitely I try get this man sacked. You understand? Remember the other day when the Constitutional Court said that Paul Llewellyn should not be in office because he is there unlawfully, unconstitutionally. Now, look what is happening. But bless up to my viewers and my subscribers. Them. May hope everybody having a blessed and a wonderful evening. Now, my viewers and my subscribers, remember, in everything you do, always put God first. In every any situation, just always remember to call upon God. Always remember to pray, because a prayer day keep the devil away. Now, my viewers and my subscribers, we are going to run the intro and come back. We soon forward. So welcome back to my viewers and my subscribers. Big up to all of my viewers, big up to all of my subscribers. We continually support the channel and help the channel to grow. Now, remember to leave a like on this video. Remember to give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you're a new viewers, first time on my channel, then please subscribe to my channel and turn on the post notification bell. So whenever we drop new content, you will be first to be notified. Share the content with a friend, a family, a loved one. Share it on your social media platform. Now, my viewers and my subscribers, make we start off the report with this. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke said there is a danger in raising the income tax threshold too high. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke says a massive increase in the income tax threshold could do more harm than good if not properly managed. Dr. Clarke was responding to question at the Budget Breakdown 2024 conference held by the Caribbean Policy Research Institute, CAPRI.
CAPRI's Executive Director, Dr. Damien King, noted the dangers of relying on income tax as a means of revenue. He simultaneously made the call for an increase in the threshold to $2.5 million.
And the problem of income taxes, in particular, in the specific social circumstances and economic structure of Jamaica. And because of its inefficiency, because it incentivizes informality, because it has a level of horizontal inequity. And you addressed your thinking in the presentation to Parliament. So let's hear the counter argument.
However, Dr. Clarke, while accepting the reasoning, argued otherwise.
But the points that you make about efficiency and about equity are points that I think are valid. They're very valid points. However, what is not addressed is how to do it, because you can do it in a way that introduces other factors that are problematic. For instance, if you were to adjust the threshold in a non-revenue neutral way, then you have to think about equity from another point of view, because the fact remains that the proportion of persons in the tax database who are under, let's use 1.5 for the time being, who were under the 1.5 income tax threshold as a total proportion of the persons in the income tax threshold, you're talking about a number, and I said it in my budget presentation, of 75 to 80%.
Dr. Clarke says moving the threshold without further considerations would be tantamount to taking money from low-income earners and giving it to wealthier individuals.
What that would be equivalent to would be to taking up that pool of money and giving it to a small proportion of the population.
Or relatively well off.
Who are in the context of Jamaica, nobody looks at themselves as well off, but I have to look at the entire population. I can't just look at the people here who are, and the people you speak to, the people who write in newspapers, the people who have access to opinion leaders, who are all in that minority. I have to think about the vast majority of Jamaicans, who will never appear for the time being in a forum like this, who are below the threshold.
The finance minister says increases in the threshold must be accompanied by measures to protect the most vulnerable.
So the better way would be to think about how we can do it in a revenue neutral, but then we'd be obligated to find ways to protect the vulnerable. And that is not an impossible thing to do. What we did back in 2017-18 and 16-17 was that the allocations to social spending went up by 50% in 1 year. Yeah. So what we'd have to do is absolutely front load social spending, massively increase path to make sure that if you have increases in other areas, it doesn't affect them.
Dr. Nigel Clarke, me just think so you pick up what you can't manage. And because you hear Mark Golding say something, you just run with it because you want to be first. But guess what? You are fail yourself, you are fail the country, and you are fail everybody else. You understand me? I say? You are fail even your leader. Or a bunch of failure. And that is why you keep on asking Mark Golding, how would he finance the $3 million threshold? Because you want to know. You want the ideas. And if Mark Golding don't come up with ideas, then you can't. So you have to wait until you hear Mark Golding speak about something. And that is why even right now you can't even explain nothing. You understand me? I say? Because your head empty. You're a empty shell. You're a empty shell that are robbing the Jamaican people of their money. You rob taxpayers and trick them. You're a tricksters. You understand what people state a thought, and that down below in the comment section. Now my viewers and my subscribers, Delroy keep on expose Holness from the other day. And the reason why he's doing so is to have the public questioning Holness. Now, when you look at the DPP get removed from her office by the Constitutional Court because she were there unlawful. Holness act unlawful, and he should have been asked to resign from them timely. Now, Delroy Chuck know that he acts unlawful. And that is why you see, Delroy Chuck say that he is taking it to the appeal court. But I want to remind you on something. Oh, remember when Holness did act unlawful by removing Christopher Tufttime and two other members of parliament. Oh, remember that? In 2016. And Delroy Chuck was the first one to ask Holness to resign, and they said that he acts unconstitutional and he acts unlawful and he should resign, and that's the rules, that's the laws. So Delroy Chuck push the narrative to make the Jamaican people keep on questioning Holness because they don't trust him anymore, so they might try them best to make the people of Jamaica say them not interested in him leadership anymore. Now the recent call is when Delroy Chuck said the Integrity Commission need to release the name of the 6 criminals. Delroy Chuck said the Integrity Commission should release the name of the 6 criminals because each and every time when he walked in the street, people are asking him say if he one of the 6 criminals them in a parliament. I'm talking about the Illicit 6. The 6 members of parliament that are there sitting down right now in parliament eating taxpayers' money. Now, Delroy Chuck know that Andrew Holness and his wife is a part of the Illicit 6. They are a part of the 6 criminals. So why Delroy Chuck would be pressuring the Integrity Commission to come out with the report because them tired of wait now are over 2 years now. Them are wait. Only not see people. So Delroy Chuck want the Integrity Commission to hurry up and come out with the report them so Andrew name can go so bomb in the face of the public. So when Christopher Tufton start his campaign, they can also use that against him. So there is trouble and there is trial inside of the Jamaican Labour Party. But people, if you think me I think too deep, you let me know down below in the comment section. But what I am saying make a lot of sense. Because remember, Delroy Chuck, was the one that fight for Christopher Tufton, to get back into parliament, when Andrew make him resign unlawfully, Delroy Chuck was the first one to ask Andrew Holness to resign when he did that and act unlawful by making Christopher Tufton resign without even him signing a document. And the Constitutional Court say he acts unlawful. So, now that Delroy Chuck know that Andrew Holness act unlawful in that time, him know definitely say what Andrew Holness did with Paula Llewellyn was unlawful and unconstitutional. So why would he push it to go to the appeal court? This is a problem. Me tell you, Delroy Chuck and Christopher Tufton are starting a campaign right there in July to take down Andrew Holness. So no, look out for that, people. Look out for that. But state your honest opinion down below in the comment section. And as usual, remember to leave a like on this video. Now, I'm going to leave you with this video so you guys can watch it.
You started out, Chairman, by indicating that the Oversight Committee, if it is going to be relevant, then we should at least have the reports before us, before the meeting, which, I mean, might be just an error that we didn't get it on time. But at the same time, if it is going to be relevant, then we should have the technical team from the IC to respond to any queries we might have. In other words, if it is going to be an oversight committee looking at these reports, then any questions we have about the reports could be directed to the technical team. But at the moment, even if I have questions, what do we do?
So I think that this, firstly, the requirement is for us to review and to report on the review. My take is that once we review, and if we find that there's need for further clarification, or indeed that there's any need for any explanations, then we could summon the commission to attend on the committee for the purpose of explaining. So that, I think, would flow from the review that we make as a committee. But I don't think we could just tax their time to be here just in the event that we have any
Right,
inquiries or
but
questions.
Chairman,
because it is quite possible that we accept the reports as is and move on and advise the Parliament accordingly.
What is happening, Chairman, to the best of my knowledge, the reports are tabled in Parliament and then sent to the Oversight Committee. This seems to be what is happening now. So when we get them, it would be in the public sphere. when we examine, the only thing we would want to know is if there were some concerns of parliamentarians, including ourselves, to ask the technical team to clarify so that parliamentarians who may have seen it, or that for that matter the public, may have concerns about what is in the report, and that would give us the opportunity to ask the technical team to clarify. So my view is that my view is that the process should be that the technical team should be here just in the event that we have questions on the reports. You see, but without the technical team here, even if we had questions, I'm not too sure that, we should set up another meeting just to answer these questions.
Well, I think the chair can be guided because we have not, as a matter of tradition, had the technical team here for this kind of review. We've had them here for the annual report, and that we know we will do, but in the event that the members would direct that we change the process and to have the technical team here when the reports are before us, then certainly the chair will be guided. If that is the view of the members, can we have a response or two just to make sure?
Well, I don't know what colleagues think, because even with a former member of parliament who there's a report on him, I don't understand why he's in the court if he has a certified. Yeah. Oh, okay, good.
So I do believe there is value in having somebody from the Integrity Commission here. There are questions. The specific report the member just raised, I do have questions on it, so I don't know whether the chair will then document the questions and pass them to the Integrity Commission. But I think there is value in having someone here at these meetings as we go forward.
Just reiterating the helpfulness of having the report ahead of time to read and prepare, and also I share the view that the presence of the commission or the relevant people from the commission would help us to consider, help us in reporting back to the parliament on the matters.
So I have the sense that the committee would wish that the technical team be invited to the subsequent meetings of the Oversight Committee for the purpose of receiving the reports as sent. And I would want to suggest that perhaps given that all the members were not circulated with the relevant reports, in this case, before today, perhaps we could, within the 30-day period that we have, we could possibly reconvene in order to give members a chance to read through the reports and to determine what questions they may have for the technical team to be invited. Can I have a response on that?
Just to say, Chairman, that the matter of having the commission present, either through the commissioners themselves or the ED or the relevant directors, was on the record, put on the record by me at the last meeting, as reflected in the minutes. I'm thinking that in the interest of time, given all that is happening on the parliamentary calendar, perhaps we could commence our discussion on the report, and the discussion could enable us to summarize and clarify the points we would like to have raised with the Commission. For myself, I am noting, not having had the report, but from the reports in the Parliament, in the public domain, that there seem to be some misunderstanding about the types of offences that can be brought against declarants where there is a failure to provide requested report in the time frame. I think the matter surrounding the former member of the House, Dwayne Vaz, has raised a lot of questions. From my look at the legislation and what was reported, and assuming for the moment, some accuracy around the reporting, even though I believe there is a lot of misunderstanding. So the law allows for a declarant to discharge liability in certain circumstances where there is not compliance with the Act or with a request for information by the relevant director. If you discharge the liability, it avoids a prosecution, but it does not absolve you of the need to provide the requested information. If you provide the information, but the liability from the previous non-compliance remains, then it is open to the Commission to make a charge in the circumstances. Now, the question I believe that arises is what message is being sent by the IC and whether that is truly what Parliament intended. So in circumstances where, for example, the requested information is something that is outside of your control, you have to rely on a third party to get that information. In the case from my reading, the accountant in question had not supplied the requested information, and not only was it not supplied, but there was a death in the circumstances in the COVID period. I don't know if all of that information, it's reported in different space. And as we wonder about the messages being sent, what really is the intent? A question arises as to what was the utility in those circumstances. If you issue a document to the declarant that the declarant could cause the declarant to believe that he had satisfied his obligation, notwithstanding that he may not have paid the fine, in all of the circumstances, was it the better approach to take? I think those are some of the questions that I hear arising from that matter.
Then, Member Robbins.
I was going to ask for the report on our former colleague Dwayne Vaz be deferred until we have the team from the Intel Commission here, because I'd like to know what the relevance of Section 42, 3A. If you issue a certification or of what have you for a particular year, how can you then still be asking for the documents? So I need to know the relevance of this section, or whether or not this section is being abused. So I'm asking that this particular report be deferred until we have the Inter-Commission here.
Chairman, I would like confirmation, and the Secretary can submit this to the Integrity Commission. Whether a letter dated May 18th, 2021, addressed to Mr. Vaz under the signature of Mr. Craig Beresford, Director of Information and Complaints. And it says Integrity Commission Act 2017, Section 42(3)A. The Integrity Commission hereby certifies that your statutory declaration as of December 31st, 2019 has been examined. Based on the examination, which does not constitute an audit, it appears that the declaration has been duly completed in accordance with the provisions of the Integrity Commission Act. First question, I'd like to confirm that this letter was actually sent by Mr. Beresford to Mr. Vaz, and if it was in fact sent by him, I'm asking the Integrity Commission to explain the basis under which Mr. Vaz has been found to be in contravention of any provision of the Integrity Commission Act. So I'm asking the Secretary to convey that question from the committee to the Integrity Commission.
Okay, member, just to allow for good order, I'm taking the comments. It is my intention to not discuss the reports today, but rather to formally present them to the committee and then to have a meeting early next week at which we invite the commission, to explain the reports, one, and two, to answer to the questions that have been posited today by members.
Problem, but I think it's important what Member Robbins has said, that the Commission should respond to that point, okay? No, right. But the question is, there are one or two other matters I would like to bring up for them to come with, so I don't mind giving them 2 weeks, okay? Because from the minutes, Chairman, I don't know when the annual general report will be coming, but it is about time we have a report on the annual report of 22-23 about 6 illicit enrichment of members, whether or not those 6 members have been one or all 6 have been cleared up. Because when Mr. Craig Beresford was here, he intimated, he said that the basis of the illicit enrichment was a mismatch between purchases and income, or expenditure and income. To my mind, those members, whoever they are, if they can't clear it up, then we need some indication from the IC, Integrity Commission, what is being done. But I mean, everybody asks me, I see on the street, are you one of the 6? It's not fair, Chairman. They need to clear this thing up.
Very well. I think it is the considered view of the committee that the Commission be invited to the next meeting in order to relate to these reports that have been sent and the questions that members may have with regards to each of the report, if not a specific report. I therefore want to lay on the table of this committee the 6 reports that are before us. The one concerning the allegation of impropriety and irregularities in relation to the unknown whereabouts of certain Government of Jamaica motor vehicles belonging to the Ministry of Transport and Mining. The second is the investigation report into concerns that Mr. Trevor Clarke, an employee of Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, Exp0se, failed to file his statutory declarations with the Integrity Commission for the years 2019, 2020, and 2021 in breaches of the Integrity Commissions Act. And thirdly, the investigation report into concerns that Mr. Charlton McFarlane, an employee of Registrar General's Department, RGD, failed to file his statutory declarations with the Integrity Commission for the years 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022 in breaches of the Integrity Commissions Act. Fourthly, the investigation report into concern that Mr. Oral Reed, an employee of Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSA-MC, failed to file his statutory declarations with the Integrity Commission for the years 2019, 2020, and 2021 in breaches of the Integrity Commissions Act. And fifthly, an investigation report into the concern that Mr. Dwayne Vaz, a former Member of Parliament, failed to provide information requested by the Commission in respect of his statutory declarations for the year 2019. And six, an investigation report into concerns that Mr. George Conahan, former CEO of the Sugar Industry Authority, made false statements in the statutory declarations filed by him for the years 2018 to 2020. So these 6 reports have been presented to the committee, and the position taken is that the commission be invited to the next sitting after members have reviewed properly these reports for any questions that may arise or clarification, as the case may be.
Thank you, Chairman. Just to, in the clarity that is being sought from the IC in respect of Mr. Dwayne Vaz's case, may I just add some matters that would be communicated to them ahead of time? I believe that Mr. Robinson had asked that certain question.
I think just for your guidance, the chair having ruled that the report would only be submitted today and tabled, then for review by us for the next meeting. And at that meeting, I think it would be fair.
Oh, I wasn't violating that ruling at all. I thought that you had agreed that in the request for the commission to have audience with us, we would send some issues ahead of time. No? I see.
We're now in April, and this Oversight Committee, one of its main business is to consider the annual report. Could we also get some indication from the IC when the annual report will be tabled? Because that's the main one that we really would like to look at.
Yeah, I think it would be a little awkward in the normal run of things. The expectation of time would not have elapsed. So let's give the commission. Yes. We have between now to June for that report, to my best understanding. So I don't think that we should have the commission feeling rushed or pushed to have the annual report ready.